time now for our Flash 5. It's a chance for you to find out what the number one thing is. And this week, we're talking about music as in top-selling albums. You can play at home. Now, the Recording Industry Association of America, or the RIAA, classifies an album as double diamond when it was basically over 20 million albums or streaming equivalent units in it in the United States. So we need to find out who made the list. Now, as I show the audience, folks, here, the list from 6 to 10, Matt and Andrea will take the opportunity to write down their answer as to what they think number one will be. These are double diamonds. They've sold over 20 million. We're also gonna have the control room and one of the camera guys. You guys are gonna play along as well. You're welcome to play at home. So as you write it down, the number one top selling album, here's the bottom 5 of the double diamond albums. Number 10 is Crack Rear View by Hootie and the Blowfish. The greatest hits, they sold actually 22 million albums. Billy Joel's Greatest Hits, Volume 1 and 2, released back in 1985, sold 23 million. Double Live, Garth Brooks, 98, 23 million units sold. Pink Floyd's The Wall in 1979 sold 23, and Led Zeppelin's self-titled album released in 1971 has sold 24 million. Now that was fun, but the name of the segment is called Flash 5. So here we go. Coming in at number 5, it's, believe it or not, the Beatles' White Album. It's actually called The Beatles. It was a self-titled album, but they just called it the White Album because guess what? It was just white. It sold 24 million units so far. Number 4, Hotel California by Eagles in 1976 has sold 26 million units. Let's see here. And then we go into number 3, which is AC/DC's Back in Black in 1980. It cashed in with 27 million units. Thriller at number 2 by Michael Jackson, 1982. It has sold 34 million units. Before we show number 1, this is actually very surprising because the number 1 album that has sold the most double diamonds, greatest hits from 1971 to 1975 by Eagles, sold in 1976, 38 million units. Now that was actually released before Hotel California was. Can you believe that? So that shows you how popular Eagles were. And by the way, if anybody ever calls them the Eagles, correct them as they will. It's just
like
Eagles.
the Daily Flash. It's just Daily Flash.
Yeah, keep that in mind. Very good. All right, let's see how you did. Find out from our crew. You picked Michael Jackson Thriller, which I thought as well when I first heard of it.
I went Gangster's Paradise by
Coolio.
I just thought it was up there. I mean, it was popular in my house.
Let's find out what the control room has to say. Control room, you guys, back it up a little. Purple Rain. Now, I would have said that too. Yeah, that's a good one.
Thank you, Taylor.
Taylor, that's it. And then camera guys, your pick was?
Mine was The Wall. So
The Wall.
The Wall. Okay.
It made the list, but not number 1.
How's a Weird Al not on there?
It's a good question, and you would think more like popular like Michael Jackson for sure, but you would think there would have been more.
Elvis or Spice Girls or
Elvis. You would think
Elvis won that album alone.
By the way, Green Day, which we were talking about earlier, they just got their first double diamond.